Goodness me. Good morning. How are you? Welcome to the world, to this little one. And we are absolutely thrilled. Morning, Hannah. Hello. And we've got a new calf. Have you seen it, Hannah? Have you seen this? Yeah. So, well, she's 2 weeks before the date we expected. Yeah, but I don't think she'll be looking at a bag. You know, because it was only an estimation by the person who scanned the cows. We didn't actually have a service date because they were running with a bull. So, hello. Now this one's my pal. Oh, goodness me. Now that is called taking one for the team. Don't you throw your head at me, missus. She's got some calf muck on her face, look. So, and this little heifer calf, absolutely gorgeous, perfect in every way. And yesterday, I shared, just a little bit loose, isn't she there? I don't want to put anyone off the breakfast, but I sort of know why. It was struggling to latch, and it's not uncommon that. It's something that we find a lot with Highland cattle. Especially as these girls get a little bit older, they get a little bit lower. The calf's got to learn to go low and then come back up and latch onto the teat. So incredibly, and she was so lovely, she let me, and there were people watching, I'm sure they thought I were mad. She let me just kneel down by her side and teach the calf to drink. She didn't kick me, she didn't attack me with her horns, she just let me help the calf. And in half an hour, with a little bit of tuition, it had drunk all 4 teats. Drunk from all 4 teats. And she was as good as gold. She was a real lady. So I was quite chuffed, really, because, you know, all that pruning crush, you know, you don't want to disturb this precious time for the cow, because she's relaxed, she's had that calf naturally, she's bonded with it. All she wants is that calf to drink the milk. And that was the barrier. So I didn't, you know, I just went in real quiet and just spent time alongside her, assessed the situation, that the calf just couldn't get its head down low and latch on. And I just gently milked the cow, really softly, really gently, so as not to cause anything. And I think she found relief in the fact that some of the pressure was being taken off, and just gently eased the angle of the teat up and let the calf suck my fingers, and eventually transferred my fingers, replaced them with the cow's teat. It got the taste of the milk, and then it was happy, and it just took a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, and really with something like this, you've got to have the time and patience, haven't you? Because she's carried that calf for 9 months. She's a lovely cow. She's a lovely nature. You know, not to knock me into next week. There was unusual for Highland cattle. But I took my time. I slid in, and you know, just went real steady, and she responded. And she's a lovely motherly cow. You know, she's a natural mother. She's licking it all the time, and they're absolutely perfect. So we couldn't be happier. Coco's next. We're going to fence Coco. We're going to put a barrier across so no one can feed Coco, because obviously we don't want that calf growing exponentially. Hello, little one. I think this is my pal for life now, aren't you? And we did get on, and the other good thing was the calf was happy for the help. Sometimes they can be resistant, but I think it's about how you go about it. If it's more carrot than stick, then it works better. And I got a bit of milk on my fingers, let it suck my fingers. It then started to gain enjoyment from that. Hang on, we're having a little sit down. Why not? Eat, sleep, repeat. So all in all, really, really pleasing. Linda says the teats are very low. They're less low than they were. And I would say, looking at that that bag now, that udder, I would say the calf's been feeding itself. I'd be very, very confident that it had. And as you can see, it's a real beauty. It's son of Murphy, daughter of Murphy, sorry, not son. And yeah, it's just what we want. It's what we hope for. It's what we dream of, isn't it? A natural birth. And it was lovely to be able to help that calf latch onto mum without any histrionics. And is she shaking her head at me, or is she shaking her head at something else? I wonder if it might be an itch. It might be this pony. She might see that as a problem. See, the other thing about cattle and new mums, or even horses, like Sapphire, the Shire horse, you can do something one day with them, and then the following day you can make the mistake of, I can do that again. That yesterday might have been a moment in time that she was happy for me to. If I went up there to her now and tried to milk her, she might give me a big kick. You know, you can never be certain. You know, they're animals, not machines, aren't they? And yeah, I was very, very pleased to help, and I'm very, very pleased. Julie says, "Is this Lady, Rob?" Just joined. Yes, this is Lady. And if you remember last year, she had twin bull calves, Robert and Bruce, who were going along really nicely, and we've got high hopes they're going to make strapping bulls. Excuse me. And this year it's just one calf, which is great, and it's a heifer. So Faye says, "I watched you help with latching yesterday. It was amazing to see. I was there with my family for Children's Heart Surgery Fund. I was there with my family for Children's Heart Surgery Fund. A brilliant day." Well, that's fabulous. That's from Faye Malinder. So Faye was one of the people watching on the gantry, thinking I'd lost my marbles. Becca, I've adopted the Highland cows for my mum and for Mother's Day. And Alison said there was a fly. There was something upset her, wasn't there? I just thought, crikey, if that's me, I better take a step back. Kelly says she was trying to get baby poo off her face. All these things are possible. And Joanne says, "That's us females, temperamental, Rob." Well, I'm definitely not saying that. I think in life, women have far more to contend with than men, so I would never think that or say it. So Anne says, "Good morning, Rob." Good morning, Jess. A lovely shot. Oh, have you? And was she all right with you? Yeah. Right. I was just looking and I thought, well, it looks like it's drunk, but it's drunk with your help. Yeah. 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 Brilliant. Well done. So, yeah. So what Wade's saying is he's had to help it latch again this morning. So fair play to Lady. She's been as good as gold again. So well done to Wade for taking the initiative and making sure that calf got a feed again. So I do believe at the moment, have we ever had a better display of animals? I would say not. But I would confidently say not. You know, we've got baby calves aplenty. We've got playful pygmy goats in volume. We've got springtime on the farm starting on Tuesday night. Please tune in if you possibly can, and please do all you can to drum up an audience. We would love to be going for springtime 9 next year. We would love it if we could. So yeah, but that can only happen if people put eyes on the prize. If we get viewing figures that are acceptable to the channel. So Claire says, "Beautiful sight on this Sunday morning, Farmer Rob." Absolutely magical, isn't it? Look at that. Magical. Just, can you ask Wade to put a bit of straw in these, Hannah, please? What do you think to the new donkey? Do you? Do you like it? That's not a donkey I recognise. So we'll do a video explaining the history of this girl in due course. Oh, well done, Hannah, for taking the rugs off. That's good.
Well, and I put them on the same pens.
All right, just
so
right. Well done. So Hannah has taken the rugs off. You will see more about these American miniature horses. Do not ever let me say ponies, otherwise I will be in trouble from our Northern Irish pal. Never call them a pony, Hannah. They're a horse. And I get why, because what they are is a horse in miniature form. They're in proportion. You know, if that was an Arab horse 3 times bigger, you'd say it's a well-proportioned horse. And this is Kiki. That's Pearl. And that one is Alice. And Alice is spotted. And it's our dream and vision to breed some little spotted ponies. So, have you seen what's arrived last night? Yeah. But I'm not saying any more than that at this stage on here. But we've had a new... Hey up, donkey. Hello. Hey up, my pal. We've had a new arrival. Watch this space. Oh, that donkey just had a very loose poo. Hello, little one. Not you. One of the big ones did. So, hello. And this is Jill, and that's Elsie, and that's Nate. Yeah, who is mucking out meticulously. You'll do well to pick up that one because it was fairly liquidy. Yeah. So. We're watching these girls all the time because these will have foals this summer. But again, they weren't served in hand. They were served by Winston. When I say served, I mean mated. She looks to be the next one to me, the next in line. Not bagged up yet, though. So you don't have a due date. You just know that because he was running, Bob's having a roll with... And Hannah's mucking out and minding her toes. Hello, little one. So yeah, we don't have a due date for these girls, so it's just a case of keeping an eye. You give them, if you're interested enough, you give them fair warning, because they bag up over a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So there's no excuse for not knowing, really, if you're on the ball. Hannah, these girls here, but the more eyes the better. These girls here were all served outside last summer. So we'll have to watch for them bagging up. If you see anything on the move, give me a shout, and then I know to watch it on a night. Yeah. With someone like Hannah, you see, she's interested enough to keep an eye, and she will do. So the more people in your army looking, and everyone's got different strengths. Some people wouldn't necessarily be able to notice that. You know, that just, you know, some things are just a process. You know, shovel, muck, barrow. Do it. Other things, other people see more and are more nuanced around what's needed. Hannah is definitely in the latter category, so that's good. So Pony M, I still don't think she's there yet, but what we're watching, Pony M is relatively bagged up. But not bagged up enough to fall tomorrow. Watch this space, she'll fall tomorrow. So it's a case now of watching for sudden change with her. You know, all of a sudden you'll say, and you know, Philip is obviously a watcher. You know, he obviously sees those things. And I'd like to think I do. But the more people you've got with their eyes on that kind of detail, the better the place will function. So we're watching Pony M, and sometimes it's not good enough just to watch. You need to catch her and just have a feel, because you know you can notice change more easily that way. Right. So how is everyone out there today? You know, we're in good order, really. While ever the weather's like this, life is good, but the weather is not always going to be like this, is it? Rather upsetting. I'm going to get some more sheep out today. Then that might be it for a day or two until see what the weather does. I don't think it's going to be horrendous next week, but I think there's a bit more of a chance of rain. Why have I done that? Why have I just opened this gate when I could have just walked around that corner? I'm just not used to it, am I? What a numpty. No, that wasn't smart. I could have literally walked around that corner and come in through there now. We've obviously changed things around. So what we've got down here is a barn full of cattle. At one time it was a barn full of sheep. It's now been mucked out, washed out, and disinfected, and it's now a barn full of cattle. So this will stay this way until we've calved all the cows down. We'll calve them inside. The last thing these girls need now is a big pile of spring grass, because obviously that would cause the calf to grow bigger than we want. The other thing that we're on with this summer, we're going to totally refurbish the sand paddocks area. We're going to turn them into menages for exercising the horses, both big and small, and the donkeys. So yeah, two lovely calves down there. Look at them. If we've ever had better calves, I don't think I've seen them. Absolutely champion. But that's what, the better you do your job, the better genetics you're able to find in the form of Sultan the bull, the better the outcomes. And that's our next one that we're watching closely. That girl there, and you can see she's dropped, hasn't she? She looks, she could calve any time, literally any time. So we're watching her. And then we've got 4 more cows there that are a little bit further off, although Beryl there is starting to bag up. So I would say that she's not going to be that long. So as soon as that one calves, it'll go in with the other cows and calves, and then it can have more feed. And then we'll probably split Beryl off and put her on her own. And then we've got some nice heifers there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what we'll do, we'll just grow them on. They don't need a lot more than the food that the visitors give them and good hay. And we'll grow them on until they're of a size where we can bull them. And now bulling means mating, and the bull we'll use will be Sultan. So to put Sultan to heifers, we'll have to make sure that we feed them very carefully, that we give them time to mature before bulling, because the last thing we want is a big calf in a heifer. So we'll manage that process very, very carefully. We'll make sure that they've reached physical maturity by the time they calve. Now that's really important. And then look at that. Get ready for your breath to be taken away. I mean, that is a sight to behold, isn't it? That's Cawthorne Village in the background. It's Barnsley beyond. We've got donkeys. We've got Dutch spotted sheep. We've got Swiss fallow sheep. We've got a magical array of animals that we're lucky enough to share the farm with. We've got a tractor that is currently not in its best state of health. I think David needs to get that undercover before the rain comes. We need to make sure that those donkeys have got a pen to take them to that's undercover by tomorrow. In fact, we have got one. We just need to make sure that it's emptied and ready for them, because once we start getting rain on a night again, those girls need to be able to find shelter, and Winston as well. So yeah, we're enjoying this weather very much. Right, let's have a gentle stroll. It has to be gentle because I feel like I've been run over, and I sound like an absolute moaner, don't I? And I've got a rick neck. There's nothing, well, there is things worse than a rick neck, but it's annoying, isn't it, when you've got a pain in the neck. So there's Hannah and Nate down there. And this is just a different perspective. This is a visitor's perspective. Probably a little bit of straw for Fern in the corner as well, Hannah. Not loads, just a bit. Look at them. People can watch them all day, can't they? They look great. They just need a little bit more straw. They've used up, they've eaten up what they've had. They're ready for some more. There we go. Very content, very tranquil, very peaceful. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that, I love the way that they're actually playing sliding. Look at that. Magical. Here we go again. So you can see why people park themselves here and watch these kids play all day. How good does that look? Becky says, hey Rob, how's you doing? How's you? How's the open goats doing? How's Pip and Boomer? I can say a confident very well to all of those questions. Thank you. They're all doing champion. So let's have a look in. There's Murphy the bull, waiting his time, girding his loins. He'll soon be needed, and it's just a case now of not getting him too fit. You know, we don't want him too heavy. We want him athletic. Once we get through springtime, we'll probably start walking him every day. I'm quite happy to have a go at that. I think it would be good for him, good for his training, because you can't just open a pen door and expect him to perform like a catwalk model with having no training. So what he needs is walking on a regular basis. He needs to be fit but not fat. He needs to be really well fleshed, and he needs to be, of good temperament. So that's our challenge. These are the young bucks. There's 4 young bulls there that we're bringing on, with a view to them going to be working bulls in the future. We've got a cria. We've got an alpaca cria, look at that. Absolutely magical. Look at that, how lovely. Michelle says, me too, hope he's okay. I didn't see a kid get its foot trapped, but I'll go back and just get Hannah to check. I didn't see it, but maybe I was looking at a different kid. Anyway, better safe than sorry, we'll double check. So, in the recent days, we've had a new cria, several new calves, including a Highland calf yesterday. We've we've had lambs galore. There is no better time to visit than now, and I would imagine today is going to be a busy day. But on a day like today, with the weather as it is, Nate, just have a walk in them little goat kids, will you? Some people thought one had got its foot caught. Just have a look on the slides. It's probably free now. So Hannah is, yeah, just have, yeah, it was on the slides, I think. Just have a general look round and make sure nothing's trapped. I think if it was, it'd be shouting. Yeah. So Nate is just having a look, making sure that everything's okay. Hannah is with Stanley. Stanley is a veteran of the farm. Hannah is mucking out properly, look. She's done it before. You see people that have worked at, you know, like stable yards and things. There's a way of mucking horses and animals out that's professional. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Nate. No, he says everything is free and easy. Right, let's power on. Look at that. So those miniature donkeys at the moment are benefiting from this weather, but as of tomorrow, they'll need to come in on a night because it's showery from now on. So look at that one. So there's a jackdaw there taking the hair out. But I've managed to empty a pen, moved Coco and Lady where we can see them and make sure that the calves are okay. And then the donkeys can run in there and get shelter if required. Look at that. So they're picking Winston's old hair out and taking it off to line nests. So they'll have donkey hair nests. He's thinking, what are you doing? Do you mind? Right, so goats are checked and okay. We're going to power on and get to the sheep and have a look there because I've got some vaccinations to do this morning. I've got, a fair few jobs to do. I need to make sure that everything up there is fine and dandy. I need to liaise with Charlotte as to who's doing what when. And then tonight I'm feeding David and I are feeding the lambs through the night, so we're not going to have a full night's sleep and checking the ewes between us. So we'll divide it up and make sure that they continue to receive 24-hour care. Right. So it's all very peaceful. No sign of any leaf blower. But I've seen Jeremy actually, I know he's here, so there's no problem there. But it's sort of quite nice to avoid him, but not for, only for the best possible reasons. Find someone in life who looks at you like Dave looks at his dinner, and you've cracked it. He's obviously enjoying that very much. We're on a mission and a journey to make the place the tidiest it can be, and thanks to people like Elaine and Jeremy and lots of the team, we're getting there. We're there's still a bit of rubbish laid about. There's still a few things that don't really serve the purpose that they're intended, but we're on a mission and a journey, and we'll get to a point where we're happy with everything, I'm sure. I think Jeremy's on the sweeper. That's where I can hear. That's our sheep bath. That's where we bath the Swiss valets. We're also going to build a contraption up here where the Shire Horse experience can take place, where people can maybe have a go at grooming, washing, maybe plaiting, all these different things could happen up here. So that's one of our next jobs. So we're excited about that. We're going to turn the Shire Horse experience into a more hands-on thing, so that when people book it, they will be able to get hands-on with our Shire horses. You know, which is, you know, is definitely what we want. It's just a matter of making sure we can do it with the very best safety protocols, and that's what we will be, with the help of Philip and Amy and Ruth and the other people who deliver them. We'll try and turn them into something really special. Excuse me. So obviously, a day at the farm is all about the animals, but it's also all about the play equipment, and the fact that we've got the very latest, most inclusive play equipment that's on the market makes us very proud. We've got an area here that's specifically designed for children and adults of all abilities to play in the same space together. So this area here is designed for that, so that it doesn't have to be, oh, that's your area, this is yours. Hopefully there's something there that's designed with safety in mind, but also with bringing people together to be in the same space and having fun at the same time. So that was the dream and the vision behind it, and hopefully when people visit, that'll tick a box or two for people in that situation. So we're on the way to the roundhouse, and these ferrets have never smelt worse, and I don't mean that rudely, but you definitely know you're passing them now. There is definitely an aroma of ferret. Right, so let's see what's changed up here. We've obviously got a new calf, we've got a new cria, we've got other new calves, but we've got new lambs as well, and lots of them, and lots going out to the fields. More will go to the fields today. And then I've got some vaccinating to do, and then we'll let some more out of the pens, and no doubt welcome more new arrivals. You know, there's still probably 70 still to lamb, something like that, so still plenty of late nights and long days ahead of us as we try and achieve our shared goal. And our shared goal is a successful lambing time.
You're live or you're pretending?
No, I'm live. Yeah. How's it going?
Alright, just been checking.
Morning.
And here's the
oh.
lady herself.
No, this is the goat. The greatest of all time. Yeah. This is the
I
goat.
like your shades. Can I try them?
Are you copying Hannah?
Yeah, she actually copied me.
Sunglasses on head.
It's because it's like summer.
Yeah.
It feels summery.
Well, make most of it today. Summer ends today. Yeah. Heartbreaking. Tomorrow's dry, but it's not as warm. Yeah. But it's not as warm apart from that else. So how's it going? Any new arrivals?
Oh, is that one that's prolapsed as well? That's good. Did that one out? I did that one. You did that prolapse.
No, you did it all, Dave. I was just there watching in awe. No, I was just watching in awe. My jaw literally hit the floor and I've lost most of my bottom teeth. Dave, duck down and then duck up. Hold your breath. How long can you do it for? That's what we used to share a bath together, right? Yeah. But last year we decided we were probably too old. Charlotte, what are your plans today? Don't say you've got an afternoon off in York or something like that, please.
Yeah, sadly not today.
Right, thank God for that.
I am up here doing 2 experiences.
2 experiences, but other than that, you're here. Have you any help? Right. Right, brilliant. Could you, what I would really love, I would love it more than anything, if you could put, all right, I'm going to vaccinate everything. Dave, we're going to vaccinate everything, right? Yeah. And then we're going to get some more out. Then I'm going to let some go, because there's quite a lot of singles that could go out once they're vaccinated. When we've done that, could you put all the ones that are under medication in one line? Right? I'll be able to empty quite a lot of pens. If you could put them all with the boards, just so we know exactly where we are, and anything that needs extra feeding, if that could be in that sort of place. Because there's a few lambs that we're injecting and they're needing support. Yeah. The water, yeah. Well, I'll do one quick lap round here. Say cheerio to these good people. What? Right, guys. No. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I thought that lamb were gonna. You were gonna demolish that lamb.
Right. So
2 minutes, and then we'll vaccinate them sheep. And I just think it'd be easier to know what's what, Charlotte, because David and I are actually on our own. We're up all night tonight, but not at the same time. We're gonna share it out. So if you can't sleep, drop me a text, right?
I can sleep perfectly
Oh.
at night, I'm afraid.
How do you sleep at night? Right then, folks. So everything in the garden, not everything's rosy, but it's not bad either.
these lambs are ready to go as well.
Yeah.
I've been round them.
The one, what, these?
Well, I've been round them.
Yeah. The one thing that worries me, David, today is that girl. Right? She is.
She said that a week ago.
But anyway, I think she'll lamb today. We need to sort out who's on call for that. But anyway, we can sort that out in due course. So Yorkshire Rose, Sapphire. Most of the pens are full again, aren't they? How many empties there, Charlotte? There's a few empty pens there, isn't there? A few empty pens in there. Right, gather round, Charlotte. David?
Oh, you're not going.
Well,
We've got lots to do.
Yeah,
We've got lots
yeah.
to do.
Right, so from Farmer Rob, Farmer Dave,
Farm Charlotte.
have the most wonderful day. We'll see you again tomorrow, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Fail.